Okay, let's see who's up next. Gemini. Gemini it is. Okay. Can I have a couple of self-love cards for my Gemini for the month of August? Here it is. The self-care is doubling up on the self-care, self-love. Because they all seem to be coming out for that and the affirmations. That says something. That was 44 on the clock. Okay. We have hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. This one is a really good one. It came out one other one too. I want to say Virgo, but it might have been Leo. I'm not sure. To feel disappointed is to have cared. Today, feel compassion for your tender heart and for the gifts of love it offers. You have to always feel compassion for yourself, period. Doesn't matter, 121 on the clock. It doesn't matter who's disappointed you, whether it's yourself, somebody else, a situation, an event. It doesn't, a thought. It's really hard to have compassion for other people if you can't have it for yourself. Sometimes you have to learn that the other way around, backwards. I know I did a lot of things backwards, but really it's important to focus on you and your self-care and your self-love, and it takes a moment to get there, right? And when you do get there, the ability to see from a different perspective is absolutely mind-blowing. And when you can have compassion for yourself, you can have compassion for anyone in the world, because usually we're our own worst critics and we judge ourselves so harshly. And that's a practice. That's a program. 222 on the clock. That's something that has been beat into our heads for a long, long time, probably most of our lives, from parents, from schools, from stereotypes, thought processes, old thinking, old ways of thinking. And I'm not saying they're all wrong, but there are some things that are just, there's a better way. And when we realize that we can do better, we should always try to do better. Are we going to be perfect every time and do everything right? No. But when we understand that we're trying and we're showing up every day, and understand how hard it is to maintain that 303 on the clock, even through the struggle, it's a lot easier to see and feel more compassion for ourselves and other people, because once you're showing up for that struggle, through that struggle, along that struggle, you're allowing yourself a space to see what it's like. 324. Yeah, you're allowing yourself to see what it's like, and when you do that, it's a lot easier to feel compassion for other people, because it's 333. It's hard to explain, I guess, but when you realize how hard you worked for it, you have to recognize that other people, even no matter how small their steps seem to you or whatever, like you may think, oh, they're not as far as me, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't know how long it took them to get there. You don't know what they had to overcome to get there. And you know what you had to overcome, 404 on the clock. So when you know that, it's a lot easier to go, oh, I know how hard it was for me. So who am I to judge what took them to get there, right? So just saying, when you start to understand with compassion for yourself, it's a lot easier to see it for others too. And that's the biggest thing we can do in this world. There's a calmness to a life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. Pause. You're thinking for a moment. Must stop. Take some deep breaths and allow time to slow down. 444 on the clock. Stable foundations. Just pause. No matter what's going on in your life, take a moment. Just pause. Stop your brain. Stop everything. Just shut it down. However you got to do that, whether it's autopilot cleaning, whether it's doing something creative, whether it's hitting the gym, it doesn't matter, going for a walk. Stop your brain for 101 on the clock, new beginning. Stop your brain just for a minute. Don't let the anxiety and overwhelm take you out. 515 on the clock. Those numbers matter. So every time they come out like that and I'm just spewing them as I see them, one, they're related to what I'm saying, and I know they're related to what I'm saying, or I wouldn't be recognizing them. Also, they're there for you to go check them out. Just Google it. Just ask about the angel number, this angel number, that. All the numbers I spew out, they have meaning, and 101 on the clock still. They have great meaning to what I'm talking about, and they will actually help you in so many ways. So I don't just spew them out for any reason. It's confirmation, but it's also an idea for you to dig a little deeper. And when we get curious like that, we can really begin to change. That's a rabbit hole you always want to go down to. Your own self-care, your own self-love, how to show up for yourself, what you need, want, and care about. That's a rabbit hole. Always going to be worth going down. Okay. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. Oh man, that's true. I can tell you some stories. Take the time to relax and unwind before bed, without your phone or other media. Read a book, journal your thoughts on the day, or simply sit outside with the quiet and the night sky. Do your best to avoid screen time during this relaxation time. It's so true. We all get caught up in our phones in the outside world and we forget about ourselves. And listen, I'm not perfect by any means, so I know how easily that can happen. That's what the pause is for. That's what taking those moments are for. Reflect on the day. What did you learn? What did you see? This is Earth School. Every single day you're learning something. 7:07 on the clock. You might not realize it right away, but I'm telling you, every day, every breath, every second, every encounter, you're learning something. And when you can, that was 717, when you can start to see and recognize that, one, there's a lot to be grateful for, but two, you can learn some of these lessons without having to learn the hard way, because you're seeing them and you're seeing it in others, you're seeing other things happen, and that is a thing for you to say, oh, what can be learned from what I witnessed, what I've seen, what I'm going through. There's ways to, they're designed to stop you from hurting yourself or others or putting yourself in a situation you don't need to be in. Did I know that 20 years ago? No. Did I learn a lot of shit the hard way? Hell yes. So there's no judgment, but just recognize that they're there and they're there for that. Sorry, I don't We got 999, release. Balance, financial growth, success, life cycles, karma, transformation, renewal. Your current circumstances are ending, opening the door to better opportunities. If you're facing significant changes, consider viewing your life as a series of cycles or chapters. Embrace this transition by making room for new experiences and welcoming fresh beginnings into your life. Amen. I'm going to run out of time. Or not. Sorry. I'm making a fucking mess. That's too many spirits. Okay, I'll take those two. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. Affirm that, and I'm ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power. Affirm these. Affirm them as much as you can. Speak them into your life. Do what you gotta do. Release all that stuff. Pause. Take a moment for yourself and lay off social media for a bit. Take a minute, relax. Don't let all that stuff crowd your brain. Make room so you can hear what's coming. I love you guys.